If I recall, today we're going to be rolling into Harvek Mountain, which holds a special place for being... Okay, no, I lied. It's not special at all. It's just total shit. Okay, let's watch this cinematic real quick, in which Jarling and Ori demonstrate that there is fake water. Here's the problem. That's the only fake water. As far as I'm aware, that's the only fake water in the entire map.
Yes, sir. What?
And yeah. It mostly just goes along with the theory that this hack is shit. But let's keep playing and stop bitching. We are given a lot of mortars. I mean a lot of mortars. This is not okay because the enemy is given a lot of Imperial Guard. Also, new unit, get Dwarven Axe. Dwarven Axers are balls up worthless.
Oh, yeah.
You get a hero later, but he's also worthless. Really? Thank you. Jesus. So, yeah, Dwarven Axers are worthless. Ridiculously so, in fact. And they have shitty voices that I'm honestly positive are... And then there are Imperial Guards, and I'm not even done talking and things are already going wrong.
Casualties.
Wow, And then there were Imperial Guards, and then he died. Okay, maybe I should do the exposition on this before I start. I mean, I can recover this, but I don't want to lose the hero. Okay. Harvek Mountain. Harvek Mountain is a map involving a lot of goblins attacking the dwarven fortifications at Harvek Mountain. The dwarven fortifications at Harvek Mountain are this ridiculously intricate series of canyons that coincidentally end in this. If any enemy units cross that line, you lose. It's that simple. Well, here's the difficulty. Enemy units will blitz. If you recall, dear viewers, most goblin units don't flinch. Besides, ignoring the fact that they'll absolutely murder your dudes in melee and at range. And here's the kicker. They provide you a beautiful safety net of precisely 5 Dwarven Axes. Do you remember what I just said about Dwarven Axes? Here's a hint. They are balls up worthless. They will lose when outnumbering Goblin Imperial Guard. Or at the very least, they will lose men. Plural. That was not strictly on. As an unrelated note, your dwarves in this, your mortars rather, are actual dwarven mortars and not dwarven mortar heroes. The only difference, as far as I've managed to know, is that dwarven mortars never fizzle. Guess what? I mean, dwarven mortar heroes never fizzle. Guess what dwarven mortars do? I'll give you one hint. It's fizzle, as you just saw, and then we lost. And then, wow, that was a slick toss. I am so not used to playing at this tiny resolution. Don't do anything worthwhile or anything, guys, really. Also note that goblin archers are the single most perfect counter to dwarves in existence. Speak of the devil, dwarf down. Okay, so, let's... Yeah, there is... I don't know what buttons I just pressed. There is seriously no more perfect counter to your stupid, useless dwarven mortars than... Or goblin archers. Those stupid, overpowered pieces of tripe. And I hate them. Also, they're ugly and smell bad. Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Retreat before it's too late.
New units received.
Bad voices insist that we retreat. Dwarven axers are...
Casualty.
Fuck that. Dwarven axers are fairly fittingly outrun by everything in the game. And now, we get to the bulk of the map. The bulk of the map is to defend the mountain.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, that's the longest and single most stupid bullshit part of the entire map. Well, no. It's not the most... It's not the stupidest, but it's one of the worst. This stage of the map is the stage where a whole lot of enemies come up at you, one group at a time, and you have to sort of, like, run around and get more dwarves, sort of, and retreat up the hill, sort of, and it's really not all that good. They managed to take a framework, which is absolutely amazing for defense maps, and make a shitty defense map. Like, seriously, how much better do you get for a defensive map premise than... You have a whole bunch of dwarves, and a height advantage. Well, the answer is give the enemy goblin archers. Make your only melee the worst melee in the series. And then, that was an amazing toss. Yeah. Now, it does bear mentioning, the Dwarven Mortar hero is just as amazing as a regular Dwarven Mortar hero should be. And, more importantly, there's a second... At one point in the game, later in the pack, we get to a... I sort of hesitate to call it not shit, but it really isn't map. That stars a Dwarven Axe hero. And despite all of the grousing I just did, the Dwarven Axe hero is quite competent. He hits like a motherfucker. I mean, wow. I think he does something stupid like two-shot ordinary goblins. Straight up, no big deal. Also, you may have noticed, dear viewer, that I haven't renamed anybody because the chances of any given unit surviving in this level are retardedly low, and to cap it off, most of the units, like the mortars, they don't show up again. Now, in one interesting touch, it's sort of worth noting, the helots, as you bomb them, will panic and run, and the Imperial Guard will hunt them down. It's sort of a nice touch. In perfect fairness to this stupid, lame, bad hack. It's sort of a nice touch. Of course, you know, it's balanced out by everything else, and now I'll just get back to hating. I have given this hack its exact one bit of praise that it deserves. Hey. Holy shit, was that many fizzles even physically possible? And now's the part where I lose Dwarven Axes. And reload, because it's all about not fizzling, because the enemy has fast, unstunnable melee, and you have mortars! There's no hypothetical world in which this fight is fair. That was a really good shot, Mr. Mortar. You have the blessing of me. Which is to say, everybody your silly, stupid, worthless life ever cared about. Now, hypothetically, you're supposed to delay the retreat until you really need to. So, you know what? We'll actually do that. We'll do it right.
New units received.
While Cavi runs around and picks up
New units received.
extra units. Where are you, Cavi? Go pick up the final group. Oh, and those, brilliant, useful... that group of 5 Axers I mentioned earlier. You can't recruit them. They are relegated to... Hello, Helot Slave. Let's kill you to death. They are relegated to standing on the edge of the map for the entire map. They do almost nothing if an enemy actually makes it past them. And I hate them. Also note that your Dwarven mortars are very content to fire into these ridges and murder themselves. Also, apparently fake water does actually exist, it's just only mortars can detonate in it. Weird. And now we fight even more Imperial Guard, because engaging in melee is silly and suicidal. Where are you going? Yo! What the fuck, dude? As you can see, eventually the scripting rears its ugly head, and you realize that the enemy will rush certain points regardless of where your actual defense is. Which means that they'll just run in front of you and get bombed to death. And I've never actually realized that, which is why I bring it up just now. And then I click off the screen, and that's the problem with dealing with a tiny window. Doopy-doo. Oh, and this level has a twist ending. Gertie Ironcap? What the fuck? Is that actually a good name? Oh, wow. I never thought I'd see a good name for a dwarf. Like, a really good name for a dwarf in this hack. Let's put them in a box, because the box is the objectively best formation for dwarves. Oh, and then once you pull back, if you're actually canny about using mortars, you can start bombing them over the ridges. And also, you can see it now. We've got an entire... Well, you can't see it because they're technically off the map, because it's stupid, but... Make it bigger! We've got a 3-pronged assault coming. Thanks, the 7th god. We needed that. Overkill, yes. Hilarious, also yes. Worth it, totally. I just like blowing shit up. I mean, if that's a crime, so be it. Oh, fuck. Those guys are gonna make it. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Alright, there's some... This is a bad thing.
Yes, sir.
Plant an awful satchel L block. By 2, and then run away, and then run away, and then run away, and then run away, and fuck, fuck, fuck. Half speed! Ah, I hate relegating myself to half speed, but are they Imperial Guard? Shit. Wow, that was an excellent shot.
Casualty.
Okay, let's just blow up those satchels for fun. Okay, so the 2 extra wings do hit at the same time. That's worth noting. That means I can successfully... What? Wait, how far back did I save last? Wow, very.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's sort of annoying, but we'll deal with it.
Maybe.
I'm also pretty...
New units received.
I'm modestly positive that the Dwarven Axe voices are chopped versions. I think Ferechin's theory is that they are chopped versions of unused lines from the actual game. Which makes them a collectively awful idea, because they sound choppy. Wow, isn't that weird? Chopped lines sound choppy. Tomorrow on the nightly news. Run, get us all together. And just listen to that. That doesn't sound good. Yes, sir. But oh well. Why am I complaining about the... Of all the things to complain about, why am I complaining about the voice acting when it isn't even the elven archeresses, who have truly awful voice acting? But oh well. Part of it's the fault of the chick for being a bad voice actor, and part of it's the fault of the lines for being just horribly written. Plant... Fuck, really? Already ranged? Okay, that's not good. Also, I guess it's sort of in the backstory that the elves are dicks to the dwarves, because... when aren't they? Keep running, keep running, keep running. We'll just catch them in my brilliant satchel trap. Fuck, that was brilliant. I am so amazing. I am... Fuck. Go up, go up, go up, go up. Die! Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. Go... Ah!
Casualties.
Jesus, men down. Men down.
Casualty.
Wow, that was just... Also, that was a sort of tinnier, worse version of the dwarf laugh from, I don't remember the level. Across the Guild 3. Which might have been in the original Across the Guild, I can't remember. Also, in this shot, Y ranged units are not faster than melee units. Or should not be. This should be the second... Yes, this is the second Helot wave. I have a collective 4 satchels. That's awesome. Also, I like how I bombed my entire own army just there. That was beautiful. One massive wave of helots. Oh, what's this? A giant mob of Imperial Guard! Thanks, the 7th God. Their blades defy description. Wait, what? Created for pain as much as for injury. Okay. That... No. No, I guess if I think about it, that line makes sense. It's not a very good line, but at least it makes sense. Also, now all of these helots go up. And I'll make sure that my iron mob is in place. And we just have to handle the Imperial Guard. I think the Imperial Guard's the last wave of this map, so I might have this one done in 25.
Oh yeah.
Bombing.
Yeah.
Keep on retreating, boys.
Okay.
Keep on retreating. The Imperial Guard... I forgot that Imperial Guard wave split. Bomb them. They splinter nicely.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, your Dwarven Axes are seriously a distinct risk of dying to helots. I'm gonna call this a good place to save, because I have the backup.
Casualty.
What did I just say? I'm taking casualties fighting a mix of helots and goblin warriors.
Casualties.
Casualties. Granted, I didn't give them the best start. Okay, you know what? I could have been nicer about that, but I'm just not impressed. They are probably the worst melee units that I know of. At least Thrall, they come in groups of, like, a lot. T. That was an
wife of the dwarf.
That was an awkward set of shots that went badly. And now Imperial Guard make it to my line, outrunning my melee ranged, and murdering them in seconds, outfighting my melee. My melee is only useful as tanks. And not even particularly good ones. Fire! That went really good. Now all I need is for the hero to finish it. One wave down. Let's save. So, we've got 12 versus 4. 1 down,
Casualty.
2 down,
Casualty.
3 down. 3 down, that's actually really good for dwarves against Imperial Guard. And the next time these guys show up is... Holy shit, if I actually have this right. If I have my facts straight, the next time dwarven axers show up is the final map. Which is still quite a long way away. This is not a short hack. It's a whole... Hypothetically, it's as long as the original game's campaign, I think. Or Myth 2's campaign, as it were. Ah! Here's the twist ending. We're going to do this the wrong way because it's my favorite way to do this. We run, we run, we run, we run. Our 5 axers never saw combat, which means I did okay. We won, we run, we... can't talk. Note the enemy mass showing up. You'll be shocked when you see what's in front of it. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I mean, hypothetically, you're supposed to watch this in real time. I've done it. It's not fun. It's boring as shit. It's a dwarven axer!
They say that they are willing to parley.
Of course they are.
The goblin commander approaches under a banner of
Now,
truce.
guess what I think about a banner of truce with the goblin commander.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
I have a mortar hero.
No goblins come.
See? It is difficult, but entirely possible to win this fight. And it relies entirely on being willing to sacrifice your dwarves and your mortars cooperating with dear Jesus they did.
Casualties.
And just as I said, sacrificing your dwarves. Now all I have to do is bomb those guys and call it a day. I think you're supposed to let it run out or something. And they actually do. Oh shit, that was mean. I think you're actually supposed to let the parlay go through, but I never have. You know what? Let's find out real quick. Let's go to the next level. Let's skip the cinematic. We can always watch it real quick and oh my god, the open road! Oh, this level is so horrible! What happens if you actually let the... What happens if you actually let the parlay talks go through? I've never done this.
I wish to speak with your commander.
Jarl speaks to no goblin scum.
Tell him that he has seen our strength. He knows our invincibility. My army will now leave this place. We will return with 10 times the strength you have witnessed if the dwarves mind their own business. We may consider not destroying your pathetic mountain. Aid the 4 kingdoms, and we will exterminate your race. This is my message. Act wisely, or suffer the consequences.
So he leaves. 4x. What say, our way is way better? Because it is.
There are shadows moving through the edges of the Midlands. At first I believed them to be orcans or worse. Then I hear the familiar songs of dwarves, and I sense the smell of mead coming from the woods. Jarl Verant, the Stormbringer, has been promised the freedom
Did he
of the
just say
dwarven
Jarl?
people within the Goblin Empire if his warriors will stand
Jarl
aside and
Verant?
allow the Imperial army of Batak to conquer the rest of the Four Kingdoms. Verant signed the treaty, but he is no fool. Any dwarf knows that a promise from a goblin lord is no promise at all. The Stormbringer has not forsaken his allies. In my visions, I can
I
see the
strongly
dwarven
doubt it.
forges of Harvek Mountain burning bright.
I'll leave
as
it in the
smith's
video description, but I
hammer
want to
silvers
find out if
and
the
shields from
talking is
molten
any
metal
different
for
if you
the
break
armies
the
of Fel and
truce.
Savan. The dwarves will do their part, but Fel must do theirs. The great city has been under constant siege for weeks, even with help from the elves and the Markon refugees. Even with dwarven aid, the great kingdom is faltering. Nonetheless, they must spare what few troops they can to keep the great road which links Fel and Harvek
I guess I've
Hall
sank
open.
really low when I'm
They
making
must
fun of the
keep
way the
supply
narrator
lines
pronounces
running
things.
and the possibility of hope alive.
Okay, back to the open road for next time. It's... Guess who's back? Warlock! Legionnaires! Bowmans! And it's... Okay, the open road... Yeah, I do hate the open road, but I don't hate it as much as I hate some maps. Until the very end, when I really hate it. And I'll explain why then. But, oh well, that's for next time. Thank God.